Alright, so while I prepare these tomatoes beds to begin to plant tomatoes, and we have a whole bunch of tomatoes, so I think we're about ready. They've all been conditioned off or hardened off, and so I'm getting ready here. So my thoughts, if some of you have seen my February video when it spiked in temperature and I came out and looked, I showed some of what we did. We put some peat and some leaves over the pots in order to help it. We were hoping to kind of, add some nutrients and just be some natural. However, I don't know, maybe it's because there were no worms in the pots or whatever. They didn't really decay very quickly. So I'm actually pulling out a whole bunch of the peat and the leaves, so you can see. However, one thought here is that the soil underneath, typically it's really kind of hard packed when we come to do it, but actually the soil underneath this year is very light and fluffy. Last year I put some peat mixed in with the soil to kind of fluff it, to give it some additional lightness and texture for pots, which seemed to work well. And then I think putting the leaves over top seems to have also helped maybe prevent it from weathering or whatever. So it really looks really nice, and I really hope that the tomatoes will really grow well this year. I'm on the last pot that we used last year. So I had some final thoughts here on what I have seen as I pulled up this layer of peat and also leaves. So some things. One is we do have problems with weeds kind of randomly showing up, and they try to get a hold as early as they can in the season. Now, it seems weird because this is pots, and one of the reasons for pots is to avoid some of the weeding, but for some reason we just keep gaining weeds after weeds. Last year was really wet and everything, and I think every plant kind of flourished to a certain degree, so the weeds put out as much as they could. The trees, we have trees all over. So back to what I was talking about here, is it seems that the weeds didn't grow as deep, so they were a lot easier to find and a lot easier to pop up, so that's a good thing. The other thing is that by putting the thick layer of peat on top of the layer of leaves, we got an interesting effect where the peat matted down, so you could literally just scoop it up and just put it in the bucket, and then all you have left is just a few, leaves and a little bit of peat left. So I don't know if I'll do it next year. I think I'm just going to put a layer of leaves over, but for those of you who like to experiment, maybe this will help you out come up with some ideas. Okay, so I have prepped the beds. I actually put some more of the acidifier in to drop the pH in the beds. My pH is not saying that it's dropped, which is weird because you would expect it to show up something, but it should be enough to at least help a little bit. So I did what I can, and then found this handy dandy tool at the hardware store, and I wasn't sure it was going to be all that useful, but so far it's been pretty useful. I've used it to stir up some weedy area for my wife's flower bed. More on that later. And then also I just did it in here. It's actually a lot quicker than just stirring it up with a trowel, so it was nice because I have quite a few pots. I got almost what do we got, about 24 pots or so. We're close to it, so it was quite a bit of work that was shaved off just by using this tool.
Please like, subscribe, and share our videos. Thank you for watching.